Okay, so one other thing I wanted to ask you about subject of free will. I'm curious what your opinion is on it.
Yeah. Go ahead. No, it's like, go ahead, because I don't know, man.
Yeah. Oh, you don't know?
So I've been thinking about this probably a little bit more in the last few years, where I would think, yeah, obviously we have free will, right? That's convincing. You just chose to drink that bottle of water. But then, why are you drinking that bottle of water? You didn't choose to have Hy-Vee be your store to go buy it from. That was kind of chosen for you. And if we go back to every decision that we've ever made, we can still find there's external things around it that kind of forced us into those decisions. So we don't really have free will, because if I wanted to just start speaking Korean to you right now, I can't.
Sure.
And that sounds like, that's meta and crazy and, high in the sky ideas. But yeah, that example is. But there are other things where we can think of where we don't really have a choice, maybe in how we feel or how we respond or where we were born. If we wanted to be born at all, for example. So I don't say no, we don't have free will for sure, but I don't think it's a lock that we do.
So I think you and I actually feel very similarly about this. I had a guy on my podcast who we were kind of getting into this discussion of free, and the very same thing came up where it was like I had the Sprite. I'm like, okay, I'm choosing to pick up the Sprite, and he's like, or no, it was about more like reality. He was like, I'm picking up the Sprite. He's like, are you picking up the Sprite? And I'm like, well, if I'm not picking up the Sprite, none of this is real. I'm gonna go jump off a cliff right now. Because why the fuck does this matter?
Right? Yeah.
So that's kind of like when people tell me that there's no free will. Like zero free will. Like that's my first reaction.
Yeah.
It's like I'm gonna kill myself right now.
I mean, and wake up in the Matrix or what, like in the Matrix or something. Who knows? I think it's one of those things where if we found out that we did, we did not. Like you said, like it's not real and you can jump off. Well, then what's the point of testing that boundary if it ends your chance to test the boundary?
That's a fair point.
That's how I. So I get it. That's a fair response. You don't know if it's real, but I know that like if I hit myself with a hammer, it hurts. I prefer that not to happen. So let's just live our lives as if we are real, because it's all we have. We have no choice but to believe we have free will, and that makes no sense. I know, but that's kind of how it is. And the thing is, because I know you brought me in here as the president of IAF.
Oh, you're the president now?
I wasn't last time I talked.
Yeah, I think you were the
it's true.
press
Yeah,
officer.
you're right. Yeah.
Hey, that's awesome.
Yeah,
congrats.
You wanted me to give you the atheist perspective on it. Is I find the theist accounts for this not as nonsensical. I don't think you can believe in a Abrahamic God and also that we have free will, because he made everything in predetermined. It even says it in the Bible that God knew you before you were even born. Who are you to change even one hair on your head, or all those things. So
that's interesting.
I think if you want to come at me, bro, with the free will thing as an atheist, and if you were a theist, I think I actually have a little bit better argument than the theist does, because I can sit here and speculate about all the stuff we just talked about. You don't hear me interjecting a supreme being that can control and has already controlled what is going to happen. So I think, again, theist has a lot of work to do to even get to the table on some of these. And it's not because they're stupid or anything. I think those arguments are just not very good. They're not equipped to handle what I would consider to be reality, because they require something outside of reality to explain everything, which I think disqualifies them from really being seriously discussed in that way. Yeah,
I would agree with that.